What's good, everybody? It's your boy Joe B1, your favorite rap and Black Series collector and hip hop Jedi. Hope you guys are doing all right today. We are here for another Black Series block party. We're going to be taking a look at a handful of figures pretty quickly. Just going to go through them pretty quick, man, and highlight them. And today we're going to be looking at some prequel era stuff that I think should be in any fan of the prequel era. If you guys are collectors, these are ones that I think should definitely be in the collection, and I'm definitely happy they're in mine. Anyways, I appreciate you for tuning in, whether it's on the replay or you happen to tune in live. I really do appreciate you guys. It means a lot. But yeah, I've got a lot coming up for the new year. Of course, we've got some podcast stuff we're working on, and going to be trying to get some guests on and stuff. Some Band Force Alliance stuff coming up. We're going to start getting into ramping things up in the new year. So I'm excited about that, man. Get some new content out to you guys. And I appreciate all the love and support for all the ones that have been in it for the long haul. It means a lot too. But yeah, anyways, as you can see, I have things set up with the desk cam situation over there. So here in just a second, we'll start taking a look at some, like I said, prequel era figures that belong in your collection. So yeah, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Talked about it a little bit yesterday on my live stream, but Skeleton Crew has been fantastic so far. I'm super excited to see where that goes. When that episode ended yesterday, I was like, come on. So it'll be nice to see where that goes. But anyways, without any further ado, if you're not following, definitely consider hitting that subscribe, drop a comment, comment along if you like what you're seeing, and let me know what you think. If you guys are collectors of the Black Series, or you have any questions, you're new to the line or something like that, man, drop it in the comments. Man. Show some love. That's what we're here for. But let's go ahead and get started. And I'm not going to go in any type of order. We're just going to start bringing them out. And let's see if I can get the camera put on here. Boom. And here we have Little Annie. It's a really great figure. I mean, small, kind of hurts to, $24.99 for this little guy, but I think I got a little special with my GameStop and stuff, so that was nice. But yeah, this is a great figure. I think if you are a fan of the prequels and you collect the Black Series, Little Annie has got to be in somewhere on your shelf. I mean, I would hope so. But it's a cool figure. I had him posed in the Darth Maul box, so it looked like he was running a little bit more on the sand, and it looked pretty cool. But yeah, of course, now I'm having trouble with it. My table's got a little bit of a lean to it. We're not fancy around here either. You know what I mean? This is a very real homegrown channel. But yeah, he's struggling. I'm struggling. We're struggling. But Little Annie is definitely one that I would highly recommend you have in your collection. The likeness is really nice. Comes with that great little backpack accessory. Doesn't do much, that accessory. It's just a backpack. But yeah, if you don't have Anakin, I definitely recommend that and having him in your collection. And while we're on fun characters from early on, let's go ahead and bring him in. The Sith Lord himself. No, I'm just kidding. But this is a great figure. I know that I think his Figure Arts just came out with a really nice version of Jar Jar with a lot of accessories and options. But for my budget and the type of collector I am, this one's perfect. In a perfect world, I'd have that one too, but it's quite all right. So if you don't have this one, you can usually get them for pretty cheap. The paint, it's a pretty impressive figure, man. For for the time, but the Black Series team has done historically really well with alien figures. So, there's some really good paint stuff on there. He's kind of just got a neutral look, and that's quite all right. But another prequel edition, if you don't have in your collection, we highly recommend having it. And you could probably get them for pretty cheap right now. And speaking of ones you should have if you're a prequel fan and you're a Black Series collector, it's this girl here. And we highly recommend having Ayla in the collection. I've had her since really, or pretty much since she dropped. And I mean, she's got some older articulation for sure, but I mean, she's been on the shelf since I've gotten her, and she's never fallen. Of course, now that I've got her on camera, she doesn't want to stand so well, but it's a really good figure, nice likeness, and looks great on the shelf for the prequel figs. So, highly recommend it. Some neat detail and stuff in there. Clever reuse. You get a soft goods from somebody. There's a lot of customizers out there. I know a lot of people like Josh's Custom Capes. I've yet to buy anything from him just because, just the budget right now. But if you don't have Ayla Secura in the collection, highly recommend her. Put her off to the side. Just in case she tries to take a dive. All right, let me see. I'm going to pause my camera for a second, but we're going to keep the show going with the figures. And let's say we'll keep it with, we'll bring out an older one. And he's been on the shelf for forever. He's pretty dusty, but that's all right. When you're out in the field doing work, that's how it goes. And that's the Gaming Greats version of Jango Fett, which, it's kind of a repaint, but with better head sculpts and head paint and stuff. It's got the photoreal look on there. So if you don't have this version of Jango Fett, or you don't have Jango Fett on your shelf for the prequel shelf, in your Black Series collection, if you're going to get one, I highly recommend getting the Gaming Greats version just because the likeness is so much better. And this sculpt does notoriously have trouble standing, so you kind of got to get creative with that for sure too. But moving on to another oldie but goodie prequel figure, that is the Smiling Jedi himself. Now, if you don't have him in the collection, this one is fantastic. There's a lot of really great paint detail on the head, and they really do alien stuff really well. I mean, they just do. You get a Force gesture hand, which is really nice. So it's definitely a prequel figure that is recommended, prequel era. I'm not being specific to the 3 movies specifically, obviously, with him in there. But gotta get him for sure. And I got this actually on the recent re-releases, and that is Master Plo Koon. And Flo is a really great figure. If you don't have Plo Koon, it's really nice. I struggle with getting the hood, and I've even had a friend of mine who can do it fantastically and make it look nice show me a once or twice, and I still struggle with it, man. I do. But if you're going to have a prequel setup, prequel era, definitely recommend having Master Plo Koon for the shelf. And, you can get it for retail or pretty close to it right now, I'm sure, because they just did a re-release of them. And while we're on older figures that we're about to get a re-release of, I feel like you gotta have Count Dooku for your prequel era collection. And this figure, even though it's older, stands up, man. It stands the test of time. This is I've been on record saying this is my favorite figure in the collection. Um, in the line. And I mean, you know, I feel that way to some degree, but obviously they've made some advancements in how the articulation and everything works. But I mean, this Count Dooku is a fantastic figure, and if you have, a setup, a separatist setup or something like I do or whatever, I mean, it makes for, a fantastic figure. And if not, you can have a dark side shelf or something like that, and that works too. So if you don't have Count Dooku, I'm sure you can find them. But there is a re-release coming out. If you're patient, you could probably get that Count Dooku for retail. So highly recommend that Count Dooku. Something else got re-released recently is Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I went over this on the stream yesterday, but I really do like this figure quite a bit. The updated photo reel I think is nice, and it comes in that Phantom Menace 3-pack that is exclusive to GameStop. So if you're looking for this version of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you can get them with an updated Maul as well, and an updated photo reel version of Qui-Gon Jinn. And yeah, I was able to get that. That actually got gifted to me recently, so I was able to add those to the collection. And yeah, this Obi-Wan is nice, man. I mean, and then you get the soft goods. In the original release, they didn't come with their robes, but these one you get their robes, so that makes it nice. And while we're in that vein, we'll go ahead and talk about this Qui-Gon Jinn, which I like quite a bit, man. And it's always nice to add Master Qui-Gon to the collection. And I didn't have the other one. I didn't have the anniversary release. I didn't have the original release. So, and I've almost pulled the trigger on it, for above retail several times, but I was patient and I kind of held off, and that has paid off because I was able to get them in that 3-pack for essentially less than retail. Well, it was gifted to me, so it's way less than retail. But anyways, so that is, I'm kind of running out of space, but that's some of them. I do have a few more picked out that we can go through real quick as I make some room here. Thank you, Master Y and Master Flow. Whoop. For your contribution to this video. And it wouldn't be a Joby One video if I didn't knock somebody over. Sorry about that, little Annie. But while we're on that 3-pack, this is the Maul that came with it. And I am very happy with this Maul for the most part. It's nice to have one that isn't on the speeder. Ooh, let's see if we can make some room here. And yeah, it's nice to have one that isn't on the speeder, so that way I can have my dark side shelf with this guy, and then I can have him, posed on my more Phantom Menace themed shelf, and he could stay on the speeder. Excuse me. So if you don't have this speeder, I think it's still available on Hasbro Pulse. I highly recommend it, man. It's a great set, man. It made my top 10. If you haven't seen my top 10 video, it's available on my videos. So go check it out. It's pretty good. But the difference between these two is that this one, he's got a hard, plastic, or kind of flexible plastic, lower robe piece. Whereas the one on the speeder, just let me slide him out of the way real quick. The one on the speeder, whoop, has a soft goods lower robe piece. So it's like soft goods uh, lower piece to make him be able to sit on the speeder better. Um, I prefer this one, but he's going to stay on the speeder. And so because of that, it's nice to be able to have one that I can pose for like photography or like I said on my prequels era shelf. So and this one's available right now for 24.99. You know, most retailers. So if you can get your hands on it, I do highly recommend it, and it definitely adds a nice. It's nice to have that kind of a representation on the show, and then I can leave this mall on his speeder. So yeah, but that's what we have out so far, and I have three left. So I'm gonna have to make some room here. Sorry, Darth Maul, and we appreciate you, Master Kwai, for your service. Count Dooku, we love you, but I need to make some room here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and move the speeder version too. And we'll take a look at these last three. First one up, this was a real treat to get. I love this. This, this right here. This little detail. I mean, perfect. It's simple. It's reuse, but adding this just makes it that much better for me. And I mean, they updated the likeness. I think it's a little bit better. Some nice gold detail on the hilt as well. If you can track down this 2-pack, or if you can find somebody that's selling the Mace Windu, I highly recommend it because some people bought multiples of that pack, so that way they could get multiples of that clone to pose with Mace. So you might be able to find that Mace Windu for pretty good price on the aftermarket if you don't want to buy the 2-pack, but if you might be able to find that 2-pack as well. But this was a great 2-pack that came out, and it was nice for all of us collectors who really wanted this version of the Clone Wars Mace Windu. I have the other version too over on my like kind of legend homage type shelf, but yeah. So moving on, I've got two left. Oops. I've got two left, so let's bring the villain into this. He's a little dusty as I got him early, but that is Emperor Palpatine. And what a fantastic figure Palpatine is. If you guys don't have that figure, I cannot recommend it enough. You could probably still get them. His lightsaber. Oh, let's see here. Sorry. Orientation is all off. But we get a Palpatine lightsaber for the first time in the line, which is fantastic. And if you're new to the channel, you'll probably hear my dog. She really, anytime I get on the phone or anytime I'm on a video, she doesn't like that she's not the center of attention. But I can't really get it to focus in. There we go. Some really nice detail on his hilt. And he does indeed have lightsaber storage, despite popular belief. If you just take the lightsaber out and put it where he puts it, right up his sleeve. But it's a nice accessory to have. I mean, it looks great. It's nice to have Palpatine's lightsaber in the line. And of course, he comes with the lightning hands as well, which is a must, you know, if it's Palpatine. And last but not least, we got this guy. If you're able to somehow track down this pack, we cannot recommend this Yoda enough. This made my top 10 this year. If you haven't seen my top 10 video, again, go check it out. But a lot of reuse on this figure. But man, it works. It really works for me. And I'm hoping they do a solo release of this, a single release of this figure. You know, with the chair would be fantastic, although I highly doubt it, but it would be cool. Um, you know, but yeah, if you don't have this Yoda in the collection, I can't recommend it enough. You know, maybe you'll get get lucky and find yourself a pack for close to retail. I know it's probably pretty pricey on the aftermarket right now. But yeah, so that is a pretty good rundown of the prequel figures I think that are essential for a Black Series collector. Now I'm missing some. There are some that I didn't pull down. I didn't pull down a bunch of clones because I didn't. We could talk about clones all day long. I have God, a lot of clones. I have a lot of clones. So almost every clone that's come out, at least I have representation of them. So and so we can get into that in another video one day and talk about all the cool clones that kind of make uh, the shelf as well. But I did want to go over some of these characters, and see what you guys thought. Definitely appreciate anybody who stopped by to hang out today. Um, I didn't want to take too much time because I just wanted to chill here for a little bit. But much love, everybody. Appreciate you for showing love to the Hip Hop Jedi. In the coming new year, we are going to be ramping up the content. Black Series Block Party is going to be a weekly show. We do once a week, a live hangout, going over figures, answering questions, talking, that sort of thing. Tongs Days, am I right? Every Wednesday over on the Fan Force Alliance channel. That will pick back up as well. And then we have Children of the Trials podcast. So that'll be coming up soon, where I'll be hosting, talking to various guests from all walks of life, talking about how various struggles they faced throughout childhood and throughout their life, and how Star Wars made a big difference to them. And I'll share stories from my own life as well, and it'll be a good time. It's going to be positively focused. It's not going to be just all like, oh, poor pitiful me. No, it's going to be talking about how do we turn these things into a positive, how do we grow through these really tough times and that sort of stuff. So and lots more. Of course, we'll do action figure reviews and overviews, and guest spots and all sorts of stuff. So y'all stay tuned. I really appreciate y'all. Much love. May the force be with you. The Hip Hop Jedi is out. Y'all have a great day.